So yeah,
Right.
here we go.
Jeez, the first show.
First one back.
All right,
The
so
return.
yeah, let's kind of get on the same page there. So, welcome to Tuned In. I'm John.
And I'm Justin.
We did the show for a while last year. We talked about television, film, did some solo shows, did some shows together, and we took a break for a bit. We're coming back a little bit different. Now we're tuning into just life. Nothing too specific or special, just kind of what we come across weekly, and we got some stuff written down, stuff from the old noggin. So I don't know if you have anything you want to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll still be doing the occasional, like movies and TV because we
Cool,
like
me.
talking about that stuff. But generally, we'll just be, hanging out, Friday or Saturday mornings and sipping some coffee and probably posting on Mondays, I think.
Yeah, we were talking about doing like Friday, Saturday record. Today's Saturday, the 23rd, or 22nd. So we're gonna be doing Friday, Saturday record sessions, and then Sunday, Monday post. Probably Monday.
Yeah,
And yeah. So without further ado,
good stuff.
finish my espresso and we'll get into it. I don't know if you have anything specific you want to start on. I got a couple things that lead into that one thing you talked about. So
I mean, I'll start it off with something that's like kind of just like random, I guess.
Hit it, boy.
I was thinking a lot about critics and like, because I've always been interested in what other people have to say about certain things, like media specifically. And like, there's the idea that like, oh, don't listen to the critics, because there are other people and they're just people saying what they think. At the same time, though, like they've, created a whole foundation for like, what's like new and fresh, and it's kind of like it's their opinion at the end of the day, of course, so that's why you have to take it with a grain of salt. But I think that since they look into things so much, it's created a nice push-pull situation where like the more like if something that you made is critically acclaimed, that's gonna help you so much.
of course.
But like if it's not, you still might have a niche audience. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, I think that with, we've come to a point in society where we're not doing most of the things that we do. Like, we're not involved in most of our lives in terms of, like, being active. We hire people, we outsource, we look to other people that know more than us about a topic. And so I think with a lot of people, like, the thing about criticism is that, like, for the masses or whatever, it's a great way to figure out what movies to watch. Like, back in the day, you had the newspaper segments or the radio segments that are, like, films out and, like, should you see them? And I think just like with anything, there is a point that you should be listening to critics or to people that are more knowledgeable than you. But at the same time, there's a point where you can't rely on what other people talk about.
Of course.
You can't. I see a lot of people. It's like a joke. Like Anthony Fantano does music reviews, and like a lot of people are like, oh, I thought I liked this album, but then I listened to his review and realized I don't like the album. Like that, that stuff's crazy. But at the same time, listen to why they're saying what they're saying. It's not about what they say. It's not about the rating or if they think you should see it, but about why they think that, and then use the why to determine what you want to do, given what you think, kind of thing. It's loud.
What?
I don't know if you can hear it on the microphones or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's noise.
Oh yeah.
Hey, way it goes. We live above a bus station, public transportation. So
Yeah.
it goes.
And like on the mics, of course, you can pick it up, but it's really not that loud usually.
All right, yeah,
Which
we'll
is
see
nice.
how it goes.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. So I guess talking about critics and things, talking about media, I think I guess do you have more you want to talk about in terms of criticism?
Not really.
Any
It's
points
a
you had?
thought I had a while ago that I wrote down, and it just floated back into my mind. So
You're gonna be a critic one day, I can tell. I can smell it in the air.
I mean, I already like reviewing things, and I don't know if I'll be like a published critic or anything, but like I'll definitely have my opinions on certain.
We're all critics
artworks.
deep down
Yeah.
somewhere. In life.
It's like you were saying, a lot of people outsource things, so they've outsourced criticism, but that doesn't mean that you can't.
Anyone can do it. Easy thing about being a critic.
Yeah.
I was thinking about movies and television and video games and all that stuff recently, and the level of separation. We talked about it in terms of Ex Machina. We were just speaking about this, but I always think about like, where is the line between life and art? And when will we blur that line? And it's like a singularity moment when like robots are the same as people, then it's okay, it's over kind of thing, right? But in terms of media, why does that uncanny valley exist, and are we going to get rid of the uncanny valley? Uncanny valley, if you don't know, being the concept of the space where robotics or AI or anything that's trying to look human looks so close to being human that it's uncanny. You're like, it's not quite human, it's a little off, but they're close. And when will we get past the other side of that? We've been in that valley for like 15 years now.
And that fits especially, I think about that with video games, I think, as you were starting to say. And like, because we're at the point where I think you said that we can make incredibly realistic looking.
I think it was Sony executives were saying. Some big game executive was talking about that concept, that they could, yeah.
Yeah, it's just that they don't want to, because it's just so eerie and people wouldn't want to play it, which, you know, it's so interesting, that level of like, you can still tell that it's fake just to avoid making people uncomfortable.
Yes.
It's just a good move to make. It's just, that's our technological problems today.
To me, the big deciding factor over realism is depth and texture. Like, I think those are the things that when we get that nailed, it'll be over. Like, I think that is the only thing that's holding anyone back at all, is the concept of, I think it's depth. Like, when you look at stuff in real life, your eyes are so complex. They take in these weird, every little shade and little, like, I'm looking around the room right now. Everything is so 3D and complex that's very, very hard to mimic on 2D screen, almost impossible. This is what I think film's going to get into, though, in our lifetime, and it's going to make film much more technical. I think we're going to start mapping. Like, I could see them say they're making a movie in this room. You map the whole room and, like, texturize the whole room. Do a complete online rendering of every inch of this room. Then have actors go in the room afterwards. It's mapped. Have actors go in, film them from 360-degree cameras and stuff. Them in their environment doing their scenes.
You're saying green screen type thing?
Well, it's you map the room. Right. You have them in the room as well, moving within it. But the room is a stable thing outside of that scene. And this is, oh my, anyone that's tech is gonna. I'm talking on my ass, but something like that concept, and then you can just plop someone with VR in that room. You put it in VR. You could just be sitting in a chair in the room watching that couple fight or watching whatever happens happen. I think that's the future of it, and that's insane to me. But I could see that or something similar to that coming around in the next 50 years. Yeah,
I'm thinking also about how I don't know who else has seen the show The Midnight Gospel, but with that show, I watched it and I left it thinking that this is like a cool new style that like. Yeah. Excuse me, it's combining podcasting, which is a growing medium, people just listening to other people's conversations, with a narrative plot, and I think that would fit nicely with what you're saying too. If you like a movie like My Dinner with Andre, you're sitting at dinner with them, it's like it would open the door to those kinds of films, which are strange, and like you actually don't have a character, but you feel more connected to the characters because you're next to them.
And that's like the end game version of like social media is now. We talk a lot about, I've heard this a few times recently about like YouTube is, and I know a couple people that are like, this helped me through like middle school and high school. Growing up in like the vlog area of YouTube, I didn't do a lot of this, but a lot of people, like, it gives you the sense that you're with you're sitting alone eating cheese puffs like in a towel in your bed, but it feels like you're with friends because you're watching like all those millions of vloggers that exist. And I think that video games have a similar escape. This leads me to a thing I really want to talk to that's going to lead into what you were saying you wanted to talk about. It's interesting to me how casual gaming has gotten so popular. I mean, casual style games. Like, I'm talking like Animal Crossing, the life simulator games like Sims and stuff, Second Life.
Heavy Rain.
No, we're not going to talk
God bless
that.
Anybody who's played that game.
Viscera Cleanup Detail is a really funny game.
I haven't heard of it.
Every level is famous video games, Doom or Halo or something.
Weird.
Off-brand, but they're famous tropes like the mad scientist lair or the castle or something. And your job, you go in with your weapons are mops and brooms, and you clean up after
the people that just played through
killed everybody. And it's a hilarious game.
That's cool.
It's those slow games that just like almost mimic life that people are getting really into.
Yeah.
And why? Right? Why are we getting into that style of games?
A lot of people like to live vicariously.
Guess,
you know, and it's like The Sims has been popular for 20 years, right? I
think historically it's a lot of we're overstimulated, always taking in media, always taking different things in, and so as a result, I think casual stuff like that brings you back to normalcy. Brings you back to it's like reading it's like reading prairie fiction or something like that.
Yeah,
It brings you back to a
yeah.
simpler way of life, and it's interesting now though the opposite's happening. We're living in right now. Oh God. Every podcast in the world's dated right now because we're living in a COVID era, right? And so
Yeah.
and so I think now it's like longing for that pre-outbreak normalcy that we don't have anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's interesting how that's flipped, but it's the same result. People
Yeah.
like doing that. Instead of riding a horse, they're gonna do a game about riding a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Easier. Doesn't take the skills.
I don't know how much you know about the story of Ready Player One. I don't know if you ever saw it or read it or
The
anything.
basics. I think I'm aware of.
Yeah, and that's just like
Concepts.
it's obviously it's a little bit exaggerated, I think, but I think we could definitely head towards that kind of thing depending on how accessible VR gets, you know. For those that don't know, Ready Player One is essentially about the world in the future where everybody works, lives, gets money from a VR game, and everybody just plays in their house every single day, and it's kind of how it works. And it's a big
It's so cool, by the way.
oh, it'd be super cool, like to actually get money through
It's
a game.
I can't tell.
And
if
you
it'd be
could
a
do
good way to
whatever,
live your life or not.
huh?
I don't know if it'd be a good way to live your life or not.
That's what I was just thinking about. It's
But like,
it's
what is reality? If reality became for everybody being in this machine, then is that not reality?
The thing in the game though is that it does come at a premium. You know, you have to pay a lot of money for this specifically, but they
Good.
have these.
Only rich can survive.
No, if you just like put your money towards it, it makes the games more realistic and you exercise better, so it mimics real life even more. They have these treadmills which allow you to run, walk in any direction, and you're suspended from the walls and the ceiling.
That's cool.
So you just like run and whatever, you're actually running and whatever. And if you have like the fake gun or if you have like the
Get one of those
controllers,
setups
you
in
know,
here.
huh?
Get one of those setups in here. Go crazy.
Insane.
Never leave again. Fine with me.
You know,
Yeah, I don't
pay our landlord in Bitcoin effectively.
know. All the miles around on the treadmill make energy to power the lights in the bus. Oh God, that's like easy to do. That's not even crazy.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
It's just
but
commercializing it.
I think I think people crave that, like, escape. But I think a good way to maintain, and you're gonna like this because you're really good at this, better than anyone I know. Concepts of routine. Like, some people love routine, and some people think it's the devil's seed. Like routine can be really good because it gives you that normalcy and stability, and like gives you a checklist. At the same time, routine can be really entrapping, and it can be really limiting in terms of growing as a person. So it's different people feel differently about it, but I know you love this conversation because you like routine a lot.
Yeah, I'll just throw my piece out there.
Please do.
I think it's kind of a what's the word? I think it's kind of a false idea that routines limit your day. Like they obviously can if you have a plan that directly would get in the way of another plan, you know.
Sure.
So like, oh, say like you like going to bed at 10:30, but your buddies want to go out for a drink. That's when you use your judgment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like if it's Friday, go out or do what you want to do. But I think there's definitely you're just streamlining certain parts of your day so that you don't have to think about it, because humans run on auto mode a lot. You'll just like.
And it's easy to waste time nowadays too with phones and shit. It's
Yeah.
easy to spend an hour on the couch when instead you could be doing 2 or 3 different things.
Yeah.
Off a checklist.
Yeah, like washing the dishes.
Sure.
Are you thinking actively while washing the dishes, or do you know soap goes on sponge and then sponge goes on dish
You ever
until
drive? Do you ever drive and then like a long drive and like you're like, I don't remember was I driving?
Oh,
this far?
yeah, exactly.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
if someone like pulled out in front of me, would I have responded? You would have.
yeah
But you're actually not taking anything. You're like,
Yeah.
I have no memory of like if someone tried to tell me map like how many turns and curves are on this high, especially like throughway driving or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, you're on autopilot a lot more than you think.
exactly. So like if you can fill those things with, if you can fill your time on autopilot, which for most people is morning and right before you go to bed.
Interesting.
To me, that's what I've recognized for myself, at least. If you fill those things with things that you actually want to do, then, you know, I think, at least for me, that makes me happier, you know, because if I wake up at 7 in the morning and I like doing that on routine, and I can go for a run, and then by 8:30 I'll have a good start to my day, and I'll feel more productive. You know.
Yeah, I think the biggest lie ever told, ever,
Okay.
is that being a night person's a good thing, or like nighttime is better.
Horrible.
And I
Horrible.
love the vibe. Like, I really like it. Like, I like it's late.
It's edgy.
And I'm out. It's not even that. I just like nighttime. A lot of people are sleeping, dark. Your brain's in a different spot. I just like it. But it is so much nicer to get up early.
Even like
so much. You do the same things in the morning you would have done at night. Like, watch that movie in the morning or whatever. Like, it's easy. It's not hard.
Get your coffee, watch a movie, and this morning you woke up at like 4:45. You said, yeah, and that's like, obviously I value like a good amount of sleep too. If I was waking at like 5ish, I would go to bed at 9 probably.
I don't need sleep.
I have to get at least 7 for me to function well.
Trick
and
is
then
always go on auto mode. Never. I type in my sleep.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
But yeah, I'm definitely more of a morning person than a night owl. I don't understand people who can burn the candle at both ends,
problems with
like
that.
you.
You're a purist.
One or the other.
Notice the subtleties. I want you, listener. Notice the subtleties of what he's saying. Morning person, night owl. Why not night person?
Night person.
We're humans too. Just because we have
Fine.
pale, translucent skin and crawl around the ceiling at night.
Morning bird.
Morning bird, night owl. Morning sparrow,
Okay.
night owl.
Swallow.
Yeah, your
Swallow
words,
feels
not
right.
mine, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, dude. No, I feel. I think I do. I like the routine a lot. I woke up early this morning. I had a great time.
Yeah.
Went for a run, did my shower, did some audio work before you even start. I've done 4 hours worth of shit before you got out of the bed.
Exactly.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And I think
Not for everybody though.
having those calming things is good though. I know both of us like cooking a lot.
Mhm.
I know that's a big.
It's very meditative for me.
Because you're on autopilot, but you're like, it's kind of almost artsy. Like, you have music on.
Especially once you bank up some sort of knowledge on like what spices to use when and like what each ones do, and once you have that, then you can literally just fuck around and throw whatever you want in a thing.
The only thing I don't like about cooking is the impermanence of it. You spend like an hour cooking, 2
Oh,
hours
yeah.
cooking, and then it's like
10 minutes of
you
eating.
eat it,
Yeah.
and then it's gone.
I
wish there was you could sell it
Yeah.
as art.
when I first started to get into cooking, when I was like 15 or 16, I would cook for like an hour or whatever, and then it would get time to eat it. And I'm like, I'm not even hungry anymore. I just
half the time.
Yeah,
but you have to.
yeah.
Because that is best right now. Is you can't. If you save, it's gonna taste worse. You gotta try it at least.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. You lose your appetite. You're like, I'm not hungry.
It hasn't happened to me in a few years, but I definitely felt like specifically breakfast. I think
Fuck breakfast.
I would make like scrambled eggs and toast, which I don't
every
fuck with.
day.
Yeah,
Every day.
I don't fuck with scrambled eggs lately.
Child's egg.
Yeah.
Give me. It's a child's egg.
Yes.
Gatekeeping eggs. But for real, if you like scrambled eggs, are you old enough to play Battleship? Effectively, anyone can play Battleship, but can you play like with strategy? You know.
Like, do you know to place the other person in front of a blacked out TV?
Blacked out. Ooh.
Like
nice. Yeah, like turn off TV.
John did.
That is smart. I'm the king of cheating at games.
That's from something. I can't take credit.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's okay.
It was from like a TV show or movie. They were like, yeah, why do you think I was? Oh, it's from Game Night with Jason Bateman.
Oh, jeez.
It's like, yeah, I always won because I sat you in front of the TV.
Smart. You can look over
Crazy.
the shoulder.
Yeah.
I used to. This is a lot less nuanced. I was like 9. I thought I was clever, and it turns out I was clever. Game Stratego, big like a battlefield, and you have all these different units that are different strength, and like the unit with a higher number beats out the other units, but you can't see the other team's units, so you're trying to like guess, is that a 7 or a 5 or a 10, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's rarity and stuff like that. There's more to it, flags, bombs, whatever. But there the blue there's blue and red like pieces, and they're little castles. And so the blue team's castles, I took the 10, which is the highest ranking officer, the flag, which is if you get the flag you win, and the spy, which is the only unit that can capture a 10. Those 3 units on the red team. I think it was the red team. I blacked out the windows in the castles. The littlest change.
Yeah.
And so I always played as blue team, and I won every game of Stratego I ever played at my house ever. And after like a week, I got really upset with myself. I'm like, you fucked up. You like I mean, your game is ruined now. You bit the
Oh,
apple of
yeah,
knowledge.
yeah.
Like I'm cheating every time I play.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I give it up, they'll never play with me again. I'll be branded as a cheater.
Right.
And it's my favorite game
Mm-hmm.
ever. So I was like, I just gotta live. And if I don't take the team every time, someone else is gonna figure it out. And then so I was like, I just gotta live with this lie.
Wow.
Years. I told my dad about it like last year. Crazy. I was like, yeah, Dad, that's why I won all the time. He's like, that's not. Yeah. Board games, fun to cheat.
Board games are fun.
To cheat.
Only for that.
I don't know. I like the cooking though. To get back on it. With me it's bread.
Bread is
I love
good,
cooking
but
bread.
but bread's not good for you. In excess.
Get out of here.
In excess.
Yeah, you make a loaf though.
Yeah.
It's fine if that's
Yeah.
like your main carb for the week.
Yeah. I just can't do like toast every morning.
No.
I don't
agree.
get that.
I just
yeah.
like making bread. Like I like getting my hand. You get your hands dirty, like touching every individual piece of it. Once you get good enough, you don't have to measure it out. So you just like feel how much you feel, and you really work with it. And it's like take a couple hours for it to be finished. So it's a really rewarding process. And
or a
then,
whole
like,
day.
People are super impressed by it, and it's not that hard to make. It's easy, and it's rewarding, and it's cheaper than buying it. So it's really just I have so much fun doing that.
Yeah, I've tried it like once or twice, I think, and it's I'm learning, but I do want to try like the overnight so I can get more of
Those
a
are
spongy.
fun. Yeah, no, overnights are worth it.
Yeah, I also want to try sourdough. That's a whole other process where you
brother,
have
we
to.
can do that sometime.
where you have to
Sourdough's hard.
ferment
I've never
and
done a successful sourdough.
We have some good
before.
jars for it. We could.
Yeah, it takes a bit to get a good starter going.
Mm-hmm.
But once you got it, it's over.
Oh yeah.
Your grandkids will be asking for your starter. What time are we at?
We're at about 23.
23 minutes. All right, that's a good enough place to stop, I think, for today.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
You could call it tuning in.
Yeah.
We could.
We could do that.
Thanks for tuning in to our show. We're doing this every week. Low key little morning, little conversation over coffee, hanging out. So tune in next week for the next one, and we hope to continue seeing you. So without further ado, have a nice day, nice week. Enjoy
And
yourself.
start those habits up,
Yeah.
if you want.
Routine yourself, or maybe your routine is not having a routine.
Isn't that a routine though?
Could be considered one. Bye.
See ya.